My new book, Britain Begins, tries to tell the story of the British and the Irish from the moment that people moved into these islands as the ice retreated. And it takes the story right up to the Northern Conquest. So we're dealing with the first 10,000 years, really, of the story of the British. And in putting this together, lots of new thoughts obviously emerge. There is a lot of new data coming out. One of the new ideas which has emerged is about the Celts. Now, our basic idea of the Celts, our traditional idea of the Celts, was based on a story put together in the beginning of the 18th century by an Oxford antiquarian. And he suggested that the Celts arose somewhere in Europe, somewhere perhaps in eastern France, southern Germany, and migrated eventually across France into England and Scotland and into Ireland. And that was the traditional story. It was the story I was brought up with when I studied my archaeology at Cambridge. What we are now seeing is, in fact, that the story was probably the reverse of that. That the Celts, or the Celtic language, very probably began in the Atlantic zone, the zone from Spain, Western France, Britain and Ireland. And that the language developed probably as a lingua franca by people who used the Atlantic seaways, and gradually that language spread into Europe by various processes, mainly along the river valleys. So that in fact our Welsh, our Scots, our Irish, Celtic speakers are not immigrants from Europe in the first millennium BC. They are local people, indigenous populations, who have been speaking the same language as their ancestors deep back in time. It's totally reversed the story.